And good morning, Grand Rising, once again. We are going to ask everyone to please silence their phones. Amen. Welcome this morning to the Crossroads. I am Cheryl Tabadell. You know who I am. So I'm just going to say good morning, and I'm going to get started in the training on this morning. But I do want to say, on a serious tip, I bless the Lord for you allowing me to come into your homes to hear what I've been given to give. I remember my coach, my son, my prophet, Tony, Dr. Antonio Hurt. He told me a lot of things. And I am now living those things that he told me. And when he told me, which I'm going to give this to you this morning, whenever you walk with someone, hear what I say, walk with someone. The things that, listen, really listen and take in things that they say to you, because you don't know if they're saying it for that time or for a time to come. So I found out that there was a lot of things that Tony told me, and I'm going to tell you one of those things this morning that he told me that I find myself now living. He said, Apostle, he said, the day's going to come, he said, when you're going to be able to stand up and just teach for hours. And although you don't get my hourly teaching, seriously, on Tuesday nights, I literally run. And one thing that I've always said that you will definitely know if the person was a prophet indeed is if what they say manifests, materializes. You want to say it come true. If it's a prophet and he's a true prophet, he's already speaking truth. You just have to wait to walk into that truth, to get into that truth. And then you'll remember. See, that it's so backwards. People hear what people say and they go looking to see. But if you just continue to live and you remember, once you get into the word in that place where that word will find you, where you will meet that word, you will then remember who said it and when it was said, and you will find out that that indeed is a true prophet, was a true prophet. So I'm grateful on this morning, and as again, I say thank you so much for allowing me to come into your home. Danielle is here, and I've already told her after this that she will come up and she will give you what she wants to give you. And then I can say it like that because I'm not going to be long. I just want to say this morning, oh, I'm sorry, y'all see my shirt? My 2022 Kingdom Greatness? Yes, and ta-da, I do have the banner. Yes, and I'm grateful today. Sometimes you have to look at things, and things have to always be in front of you to keep you mindful of things. And this year, as every year, since Tony introduced me to bannering, we have, now this one is always going to stay because this is what God gave me. Many decisions, one choice. That's me. And down through the years, he will give me the different things for each year. So now saying that, I thank God for Kingdom Greatness coming out of 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, and the 18th verse. This is the year 2022. I promise you, if you would just walk with us this year, you're going to walk into greatness. That's all it is to it. And then sometime throughout this year, I do know that it's not going to take the whole year for people to really get this, grab a hold to it, hold on to it before it's manifested in their lives. And I'm going to, at those particular times, I'm going to have them to come up, and then they're going to give you their story. And I do want to say also that this morning I'm going to be, I'm going to use he was a covenant keeper, still is a covenant keeper. I said was because I'm talking about the time in which, what I'm going to say about him, I'm talking about the time in which that occurred. It was during our covenant keepers meetings that we used to have on the first Saturdays in every month up in Georgia with Dr. Hurt. And this person that I'm going to talk about after I get into this lesson, I'm just going to give you heads up so y'all can call. Say, hey Derek, Apostle getting ready to talk about you, but it's Derek Pickett. And God brought Derek to my spirit this morning as a part, not just this morning, because what I'm about to say about him, I had already talked to Danielle, and I told her how God opened it up to me and how I was able to see. So I'm grateful, and I thank God for Derek on this morning. I just bless the Lord for all things that came through everything that I've been through. Let me say it like that. To start this off this morning, I have to start with what I did yesterday to give me this for this morning. Yesterday I was in my home and I was baking my cakes for today, and I was sitting and I was waiting on the cake to get done in the oven. And while I was sitting at the table, I just got my phone, and this is how I know it's just spirit. But this is just how it came to me. I picked up my phone and I began to write. And I just said, I said, it just came to my mind, I said, it's never too late. And that's where I'm going to start today as a part of this, because you got to get this. There were so many nuggets that I see this morning that God had me to write on yesterday. And it's on my Facebook page. For them that's not my friends, it's okay, but I'm going to give it to you this morning. For those that saw it on yesterday, I'm going to give you a broader meaning and a broader, prayerfully you'll get a broader and a deeper understanding from what it was that was literally said on yesterday. But I said, it's never too late. I said, so what if you didn't come up like I did? You didn't have my parents. So what if your beliefs differ from mine? Your parents didn't grow up with my parents. So what if we disagree on life and life matters? Your parents didn't discipline you to view life as mine disciplined me to look at life while giving me the end result. So what? There's a lot of so whats. So what? So what? So what? I'm glad that we were trained different. I need your experience and you need mine. Because learning does not stop with what you were taught. It begins when we are open-minded and can respect each other's ideas, thoughts, and perceptions. So what? There was and still is another way to see life and to live it. That was then, this is now. Now you can't say so what. No, it's what you sow now that shapes our future and changes our lives. And I'm going to do this from the back, because right now there's a lot of us that are still in the mode that we were trained up in, brought up in, and we measure everything in life by what it is we've been taught. And I'm telling you, we're literally going to do a disservice to all of those that are coming behind us if we ourselves first do not change. There is nothing wrong with what you've been taught. But the only thing that will keep us in the wrong and never get us to our goal and to our purpose is if we stay in that place of where we were taught. If we don't become open-minded. What does open-minded do? Open-minded, you see on the back of the board, open-minded is whenever we can open up our minds to different things, to different sayings, to different beliefs. Just open up. Just open your mind. Don't be so tight to say that, my way is the only way. Here it is again. You're keeping and you've made your idea, your thought, and your perception the only way. And for so many years, that's how we've been. For so many years. And we find that we gravitate to the people who have basically the same beliefs that we do. And so what happens is, what we don't understand with the so what and us being different, coming up different. Within our culture, we were in many, many cultures. Because of where you grew up at, where I grew up at, we were all over the place and different things were being placed into us. And that was our root. There's nothing wrong. But we need to find a common denominator that will bring all of that into one culture, that will cause all of us to be able to be great this year. I promise you this is really good. That's going to take us being able to open our minds and to be able to go inside of us and to be able, because open-mindedness, it allows us and it produces faith, courage, and another way to believe. And that faith is going to remove all limitations. It's going to take away everything that you are limited to, that you were taught, because there is another way. There is another way. Now, when I told you all about Derek, when I met Tony, I met Derek. And Derek came to one of the services. I preached and I did a prison ministry for 12 years on Maxwell Air Force Base. And Derek, out of the time that he would come, Derek told me after he was out, and he blessed me. He told me, he said, Apostle, he said, you came in there, he said, and you preached one message. He said, you talked about that dirty bird, the raven. He said, he took that message, he said, because that was me. But Derek did a total transformation, and I'm going to take you now to the Covenant Keepers meeting. This is what brought Derek back to me. It was on one occasion, Derek had the opportunity to speak, and Derek bought his journal. He bought a journal, and he was showing us the different pages and the things that he had wrote, and he would even look at magazines or whatever, and he would cut pictures out because forget the place where he was in physically. He was able to take his mind and hold in his mind where he would be whenever he reached his goal. He saw his goal, he held it in his mind. It did not matter if he was locked up. The body was locked up, but they could not lock up his mind. And I'm up here, and I'm like, okay, because I'm staunch. I'm staunch apostolic. I'm staunch Holy Ghost filled. I'm staunch, saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost, speaking in tongues. That was me, and I'm listening, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. I thank God because he said something back then that I could not receive back then. Hear me well. I did not say that I did not hear him and believe what he's saying that he believed it. I said it was because of where I was. I was not able to receive what it was he was receiving. But today I am. So Derek, my hat's off to you. It took you, it took Tony, it took the things that I remember you all doing and saying at a time whenever you were kingdom and I was church. That's all I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. If we don't open up our mind now, right now, I'm just grateful that God has allowed me to come down through the ranks and come down through the years to be able to get this before I get up out of here. That's all I'm saying. And to be able to get to where he has shown me, every last one of us, the only reason why you don't have a goal is because you are stuck where you were taught. and what you were taught to believe in. And that's what I'm saying today. We have to be able to open up and to be able to let those things that we were taught. It's nothing wrong with it. But the only thing that keeps us in the wrong is that that's the only thing that we live by. And now we see that our life, you see other people living in what they call their best life, and you're still working hard, trying to get to the life you see them living. It's not about them working to get that life. It's about them, and this is what I'm saying, it's about them being open-minded, having a goal, seeing themselves there, being able to hold that in their mind. And then, here we go, what the church won't tell us, then when we get to that place that we're determined to get to where we see, then what we need to get there will start coming to us. What we need then will start being drawn to us. We literally have to do this. We really have to do this, because stop telling your kids, you need to go to college and you need to get you a good degree. Then you need to go ahead and work, and you need to work, retire, have a family, marry, have a family, retire, No. Ask your children, what do you see? What do you want to be? Because I promise you, there is something in them, just like it's still yet in us. But we have to get to the place where we, like Derek, like Tony. And whenever I say Tony now, rejects wanted, yeah, them that can reject all of the teachings that causes you to remain in a place and you're still struggling, you're still striving, you're still hoping, you're still waiting, you're still wanting. There's nothing wrong with wanting. Out of all of those things, the only positive thing is the want. Because want, whatever you see that you want, the only prerequisite to that is for you to make the decision. But between wanting it and being able to make a decision to go after it, in between that comes what we were taught. In order to get it, I got to go to school. In order to get it, you have people that have obtained their goal and they're not even educated, per se. Some of them dropped out of school. Did it stop them? No. Did it stop a man that was locked up in prison? Because you had his body, you did not have his mind. And it's a bad thing when you give both your body and your mind over to, what it is you've been taught. It causes us never to be able to move into our purpose. It causes us never to be able to even see a goal, to have a goal. It causes us only to want to live the way we were taught to be brought up. So what? So what? So what if? So what if? Forget it. It's not about us and the so what ifs. What it is now is what are you going to make it? What are you going to instill in your children? What are you going to tell them? Where are you going to allow their minds to go, that you take the limitations off of it by not putting in them what was put in us? When are you going to allow their minds to be open, that they can dream, that they can see something different, that they can want and aspire for that particular thing? We've been doing some exercises here, and I'll tell you, I'll ask you to do just for 30 days. Just take 30 days. Take 30 days, as I said, and just write down, write down what you see, because that's the real you. That's the new birth. Whenever we get into being able to see what it was we've always seen before we've always seen it before we were taught something else that clouded that we saw, and now we have to live and see what they said. We have to live and do what they said. No, we need to go back and we need to see what we saw at the beginning before they put their sight in us, before they put their words in us. That's going to be the new birth. That's going to be the rebirth. That's what the word says. You must be born again. That's going to be your new birth, because that's going to be you this time. So you need to take 30 days. Just write down, write on a piece of paper what it is you see, where it is you see yourself, and look at what you wrote for 30 days. Read it to yourself. Read it. Believe it. Read it and believe it. And then whenever that old stuff that we were taught comes up to let us know, nah, you can't do that. Nah, you don't have the money. No, you ain't got the time. You too old. No. Man, that's your subconscious mind talking to you. That's all that stuff that was put in us. That's what's speaking, and that's what I'm going to be talking about this whole year. Why? Because repetition is so good. We repeat things to remind us, to keep us in mind of things. And that's what it's going to be about this year, because we're going to repeat it until we achieve it. It's going to stay in us, not only with us seeing it, but we're going to keep it on our hearts until we are able to get to what it is we see. Hats off to you, Mr. Pickett, the credit guru. I thank God for today understanding that where you were, where Tony was then, it was still yet going straight to the word when it said, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Let this mind, not the one that they shaped us into believing and to be able to believe from, but it's the mind, it's that mind that you came here with, that you now have to develop, that you have to believe in, that you have to use it, you have to work it to be able to achieve what it is you see. I'm going to ask Danny to come up, and she may have something totally different off of this, but whatever it is, she's going to come. Thank you.
I have absolutely nothing different to say, but good morning to everybody. Praying that everybody is well and in their right mind and in good spirits. I'd like to invite you all to interact with us on our social media platforms. All the things will be listed in the description box on our YouTube. I don't know how still to this day how Mama does her Tabit El Kingdom Ministry page, but all of our access information will be on YouTube. And I just want to say God bless you.
That girl was serious when she said she didn't have nothing. But I do bless the Lord for her on this morning. And I invite you to tune in with us. Hopefully we'll probably go live on Tuesday on our YouTube channel. And take this today. Think about it. Just think about it. Because your total sum of who you are is what you think. You don't believe it? Listen at this. As a man thinketh. What does it say?
In his heart, so shall he be.
As a man thinketh in his heart. It's still dealing with your mind. Then that's what you are. So is he. That's the thing for this year. If you can change your mind, you can change the direction. And then when you change the direction, you will be on the path to meeting and receiving your goal. God bless you on this morning. It wasn't long, but I pray that you really will take this that I've said this morning. Sit down and think about it. Just sit down and think about it. Then write. Please write. Get a piece of paper. Write it. Write what you see. Write where you want to be. Put a time limit on it. And then say it. Look at it throughout the day. I say put it on you. Take it with you. Laminate it. Put it on a card or whatever. And laminate it. Because see, what has to change is the way we think. And one thing that's going to produce the way we think is what we see. And what we see is going to be what you wrote. And what you wrote is going to be what you repeat. And what you repeat is going to get you to your goal. It's going to get you to your purpose, in your purpose. God bless you on today.